What's up, Spurs fans? Man, a 9-goal thriller, and we lose. It's
That's
so
tough.
tough. But
That's tough.
welcome back to another episode of Tottenham Talk. It is your two favorite anchors, Clayton Troyer and Matt Kuster. Clay, I know we are kind of sad at the moment, but I think there's some positives from
Yeah,
today's game.
I do want to put one thing ahead. As a disclaimer for this episode, we're going to be recapping this game, talking about what this means for us going forward. I think there's a lot to talk about in terms of the future of the club, future of the management. We talked about if we lost to West Brom, could be Jose's out. People would say, why are you hating on Jose? We still are in all of our cup competitions. Well, now we're not. So a lot to talk about in that aspect. But I do want to say something early on. I think it's important to look at these positives. As negative and as horrible as that game ended, I think there are more positives than negatives. The only negatives in that game are no different than the ones that we've had all season. The negatives are
maybe besides a couple Hugo mistakes, we haven't seen.
Right. And like I said, like I was talking to my buddy earlier, that happens once. 19 out of 20 times, Hugo's not going to make that mistake.
True.
You take away 2 of those goals, maybe 1, and it's a different story. Plus the PK. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that. But there's always hate right after a Spurs loss like this, and it's just negative. When you're critiquing a game, you want to look at something positive. After the Liverpool and Brighton game, I sat here before we recorded, and I was like, what am I going to say? There's no positive, and there really wasn't. But now I think there are positives that we can take out of this. So let's try and kind of focus on a little bit on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And
which, that's kind of what we said we were about, trying to make this a positive aspect and actually get something out of it, critique them in a positive way so that we can be looking forward to the next game. Because let's be honest, yes, we're Spurs supporters and we may be upset after a game, but we have to watch the next one. We're going to watch the next one, so might as well get something out of it to look forward to.
I think we should start out just with the beginning of the match, starting lineup we saw, and just the first half performance.
Yeah, I can start us off on that. I mean, different lineup, but really not that different. 2 people changed: Matt Doherty for Aurier, and Son was obviously playing up top, and Bergwijn was in.
Well, the same lineup we saw for West Brom, which I was pretty confident.
Right,
with.
But minus those two changes that I said.
Yeah.
I was okay with that, to be honest. I thought that was not going to be a bad thing. Son up top is always a iffy for me, just because he's not the same forward as Kane will be, but we started the game off flying, and it was positive because it looked like, hey, we don't need Harry Kane in this role to start off in an attacking style, which is a good thing, because he has come back from injury, and if we keep having to play him like this, he might get injured again. As much as I hate to say that, it could be a risk. But I have to say, I think Lucas and Lamela are leading the charge in trying to keep this Spurs team alive this season. The 2 South Americans are just doing incredibly well to just bring energy and passion to the game, and with an attacking purpose and just giving it their all, and that's what they're there for. Lucas, we've always known him for that. Lamela has always been known for, kind of similar things to that, but in the way in which we see it now, it's really positive for me. I mean, I say we keep starting him if we can. It's unfortunate that we had to go through a whole, what was a 120-minute match, and we lost, and that's now minutes on our players' legs before they play City on Saturday, which is not going to be positive. That all those minutes and nothing even came out of it. But I think we got to try and start Lucas and Lamela again, which is I think why I subbed him off. What are your thoughts on the starting lineup and then Lucas and Lamela?
I think you hit the nail on the head with that, because Lucas Moura is a workhorse, and he is remarkable on and off the ball. Now on Lamela, I love him in the central role because he's so hard to defend, not because of his quality, because of his positioning. He can get into the small gaps. One thing I do like about him too is that he's able to take some players on. Very good footwork. He's a threat to the opponent's back line. Definitely, they both are. And we've always talked about, Lo Celso being that guy doing that. And when Lo Celso's out, who's going to be doing that for us? Attacking the back line, trying to get some creation. And, watching Lamela now in the same role as he was in West Brom, it seems like he's kind of found his way, found what he's good at.
It's
And
interesting you bring up. I'm going to stop you for a sec, just because Lamela in the central role is very interesting. And I don't know if you noticed, but it was kind of Lucas and Lamela were both playing central role and also both playing out wide. It seemed like every other attack, when we bring the ball up, Lamela would be out wide and Lucas would be in the middle, or Lucas would be out wide and Lamela would be in the middle. And I think that's such a unique way that we can attack, and it can kind of catch other teams off guard because there's no consistency in the way we're going to attack. When Lucas brings the ball up, he's bringing it up in a very quick, pacey acceleration way, and he's going to slide through and slip through a bunch of guys, while Lamela might be a little more, he likes pressure on his back, kind of like Tanguy does, and he's going to turn that pressure and kind of skate through that way. And it's hard for a defense to adjust to that. Did you notice that at all?
no, I did. They kind of like intertwined,
Yeah.
when Lucas was in the middle, Lamela kind of went out. But like I said, though, that makes it hard to defend, you got to be able to communicate as a, back line. Hey, you got him, so on and so forth. And so they're sneaky players is kind of how I look at it. They can kind of get in the smallest gaps of gaps. And, they're somehow in on net in situations, and like with Lamela, he kind of, with that goal he had, he kind of just still went, and luckily Everton made that mistake, and he's in on goal, in on
But
net.
that's the thing is, they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
They're going to push for for a goal, no matter where it is. And it's a shame we had to take him off. I think that kind of led a lot to why we weren't able to score another goal. I think Jose and probably his staff were, maybe once they made those subs, were probably hoping for we could just make it to PKs, but it's unfortunate, it really is. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, I was going to just nothing. Go ahead.
Let's talk about Sanchez for a sec. What were your thoughts on him for the game, and how he played?
It's so weird because I got a notification a couple days ago. It was like an article about it said Sanchez knows what he needs to do to make his mark or something like that. And I was like, well, this is interesting because there's been a lot of hate for Sanchez. Still defensively, I think he's kind of poor. And so it was really, I was really excited to see what he could bring. And then right in the beginning of the game, he scores a header, which was, a great header for him. And then, also gets another one. And so for a center back to have 2 goals is great. But for some reason, why was his attacking better than his defense?
That's a good question. Right after he scored the first goal, I thought he was going to have a really good game.
Yeah.
He didn't. I don't know. I'm struggling with this one because.
Well, okay, put it this way: the goal that we got scored on the 4th goal, Richarlison's goal, when he passed it back to Doherty and Doherty just booted it, like. If I was Sanchez, why not play keeper or switch the field? But he played the one guy that has a man on, plus Sanchez has a man on him as well. I don't know. I just feel like it was a very poor. I feel like he's very poor in his decision making.
Yeah, he definitely struggles in that, but I also think that comes with playing. He doesn't play that much.
Defensively, I feel like if he had the decision making of some of the best center backs in the world, he'd be a great defender. I feel like he has the qualities to defend. I think he can.
Yeah, I think he can too. But like I said,
I don't think he's up here yet.
Well, that's the problem is, he's been in the club for 4 years now. We've talked about it in our fan comments segment a couple days ago. You need experience to really get into those decision makings, and be comfortable and composed in those areas. And that's not an excuse, he needs to be better. But Toby was not, without blame.
Toby was not on point either. Our center backs were not on point.
You look at that. You look at, I think it was maybe the first goal. Toby, he should have just got to get it out. There was so much pressure, and he plays Davies, who's in pressure. So who then is forced to play Hodge in pressure, and Hodge takes a bad touch, and they go in and score. You could blame Hodge for that, yes, but at the same time, your center backs have to be aware of the situation around them. It's good to play out of the back. We want to play out of the back, but if you can't force it. Things were going well for us. You can't force that. But back to Sanchez. Did he have a good game in your opinion? I'm worried at what I'm going to rate him. I don't know because I
don't know if he had a good game, but I think this game he just had kind of just got him over the hump, really pushed him to where I think we'll see a lot more of him, and I think he'll progress in a really good way. In the near future. I feel like game here was a game that kind of just give him the little oomph, to the motivation, the determination, and like closure in a way.
Yeah.
Like, look at me, I know what I can do. I put
Totally.
2 goals in the back of net today.
No,
Defensively, it was off. I know what I can do though. So I think we might see a lot of more of
well, the
him.
thing is, you look at it, he made some great tackles too and some great stops. Like he really did. There's a couple sliding challenges. So let's look at the 4 goals and kind of break those down. And I hate to just blame someone, but like it'll be easier for us to evaluate the other players if we can break down those 4 goals and maybe say why did this goal happen? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So first goal, we just talked about. I think that's on Toby and a little bit Højbjerg. Maybe even Hugo could have saved that one. It's the one that he bobbled in, right?
That's, I think, 100% on Hugo.
Yeah, he could have
But if
caught
you're
that.
going to go before and say, hey, stop the shot, then maybe with the defense. But I mean, you have a goalkeeper for a reason. You got to say that.
He's got to save that. Totally agree. Second one. Which one was the second one again?
Second one was Richarlison's crossbody on the ground.
Yeah, that's first of all, that's a great shot. I think Sanchez could have gotten it when it went to Toby, or to Toby's man who he was marking. But at the same time, it's so hard to judge that. Toby, when you're being taught how to shoot, they teach you to shoot crossbody because the defender will reach and it'll go through their legs, and it's not just luck that happened. It's unfortunate that it went to his legs because he was there.
I think it's simply a good goal.
It's just a great goal. That might be the one that was not a individual error. Everton just played well on that. Yeah. But I think Toby's probably got to do a little better, and Sanchez too, to stop it from getting to that point. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't think that's an individual what the heck type of thing.
Maybe if you want to even go farther back, maybe when Richarlison gets the ball, I think Højbjerg is the one to pressure him. And maybe if you want to go that far back on what you can say, okay.
That's tough, but that is tough.
Honestly, I think it's just a good goal.
Yeah, and we look at the third goal, which is the penalty, and that I don't think that's a pen. I mean, I really didn't. It was hard. They didn't show it enough for us to see.
Yeah, I didn't really see because I saw a trip, but I don't know. I think that's almost there's not enough evidence to make it a PK.
I agree. And the issue with VAR is because he called it, there's not enough evidence to turn it back, which I disagree. They got to call that both ways because if you look at the other end,
there shouldn't be evidence to give one.
Right. You look at the other end, you have Dele who flopped, okay, but Lamela kind of got fouled there, and you say, well, he was impeded, it has to be fouled. Well, look, everything is going to be some sort of, roadblock, when you're in the box. But if you touch it's a contact sport, so if there's any sort of contact, I don't think it's an immediate foul. I think
gotta
be some judgment there.
If there is some contact and a player does fall, I mean, to be quite honest, whether it's a flop or not, I mean, it's a foul. That's a foul.
Yeah.
It also depends on, who's getting fouled. If it's, a very, very soft one, and they make it dramatic. But, the way I look at it is if you have contact and it's not no contact with the ball and you get somehow knocked, a foul's a foul. But
it's tough because Højbjerg was running and then Richarlison comes in behind him and just like Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I thought
it was DCL. Yeah, it was Calvert-Lewin.
I thought he tripped on his own feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And so, you take that goal, it is what it is. I don't really count that. That's not on, Toby or Sanchez per se. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's just unlucky.
That's goal number 3. All right. Goal number 4. I can't remember goal number 4.
Goal number 4 was what's his name?
It wasn't Bernard.
No, it's Richarlison.
Oh, that's the really good goal. Yeah. Again, Hugo has to save that.
The left-footed one.
Hugo's got to save that, I think.
Well, defensively though,
defensively, I think Sanchez and
be better defensively there.
Yeah, you can't get it. You can't let that run go through, which is how they scored their 5th goal as well. So maybe you could put that on him, but Sanchez was pressuring him, and you're taught as a defender, if you can't win the ball, create a smaller angle for your keeper, and then that's your keeper's job to stop that. And he didn't stop it, and he's got to do better, I think, Hugo, in that instance, and he'll look back at that one and be upset about that as well. So
again,
another one.
I don't necessarily blame individual players there.
Again, right.
I just feel like defensively, if you're that high level of soccer, being one of the best teams in Europe, you have to be able to read that run.
Totally agree. Totally agree. So maybe that's their only downfall,
There's no room for errors there.
Their only downfall. And then you look at the last one, the flick over the top to Bernard. That's horrible. You got to track your runs. You got to check your shoulder. You can't just assume he's offsides. Everyone just stood there, it seemed like. Sanchez worked to get back, diving, sliding challenge. It's got to be better. But then you look at his other end, he scored 2 goals. So I really don't know whether or not he had a good game.
Yeah. Like I said, I think his attacking was better than his.
Right. All right. I also want to talk about Carlos a little bit. I don't think I don't know where I'm at with him in his loan spell, because what did he add? What when you sub him on, what is he going to add to this game?
I think height and just headers.
But he didn't do that.
I know, to where I honestly personally would rather have Bale go on.
That wasn't even an option.
Oh, then I missed something. I thought I saw Bale on the bench.
No, he wasn't. Yeah.
Then never mind. No Bale. So I guess
that's the point where Lamela was subbed off, and it's like, do you even sub Lamela off, or you just let him fight for the last however many minutes and try and get that win?
I think Jose's goal and mentality there was strictly, hey, we're going to be putting a lot of balls in the box. Let's see if he can win a header. Because I think he can still head a ball.
I don't know. I'm not completely sold on what Carlos can offer right now. It's not to say that he can't. And I know we know he has potential, but there's only, we talk about potential so much, How much is potential outweigh at what you're actually getting? You know what I mean? So, yeah, he is 25 as well. He's not young by any means. But overall game, what's your feeling afterwards?
The whole game, I was honestly like, every time we went down, I was like, we're going to come back. So, like, I think that's a positive, because
I agree.
Previous matches, when we go down, I'm like, we lost.
Yeah.
And so this game, we went up, we went down. We went up, or we went down and kept going down. And finally, got one back, then went down. Got one back, then, blah, blah, blah. And the whole game, I was confident we were going to score again. And that's something that, like I said, I've had that feeling in a very long time with our side. I don't know if it's because we started off really strong or what it was, but I mean, despite our loss and despite us getting knocked out of FA Cup, yes, that hurts. But I mean, I want to say we played well, because I think we did play well. There's obviously some things to fix, but that's every game.
Right.
I think we played. It was nice to see us play this well, coming off a West Brom win as well, because before that, we had 3 straight losses, and 2 of them being, Brighton, and then who was the next one we lost to?
It was Liverpool and then Brighton.
Then who?
Chelsea.
Okay. And I think those 3 teams we were capable of beating, for
Agreed.
sure. So it's nice to see us kind of find, we can high press. We can attack. I mean, we put 4 goals away. Yes, we gave up 5, but that usually doesn't happen to us.
Yeah, so here's my thing, is so many people right now are freaking out. And, after the Liverpool and Brighton and Chelsea game, 3 losses, 3 terrible performances, you say, it's okay. I think a little bit of a panic was warranted by our fan base. I know we were in kind of a panic of, oh my gosh, what is going on? I don't think, I don't see a system. I don't see this. I don't see that. There's too many individual errors. There's no system going forward. There's no heart in the midfield. There's no, no one's worried. There's so much going wrong that, you could talk about it forever. But you look at a game like this, I feel gutted that we're out of another cup competition. I think that's not good for us going forward. That's not good for Jose's career, probably. That's not good for our confidence going into City. And it's definitely not good to have that many minutes on our players' legs before an important game at the weekend. However, I come out of this game with a little bit of optimism, because we should have won that game, in my opinion. We had multiple chances we squandered. You look at Doherty's ball in early on to Son, and Son hit it right at the keeper. That's got to be better from Son. He knows he can do better. Towards the end there, Kane, when Lamela kind of flicked it around him and Kane took a touch in, then slipped. I mean, that's got to be a goal. That's got to be a goal. Maybe we win that game if that's a goal. And there's a couple others here and there that we probably could have finished, and you look at it differently. We had like a 40% conversion rate. We had a heck ton of shots, like 29. So 29 shots, only 12 on target. I don't even know what to say. That's so many. The fact that we're creating that many is amazing. You look at that and going against a team like City, if we put them away, which, knock on wood, we tend to do against City, then, things might fall our way. But that being said, we got to look at defensively and, be cleaner. But I'm not worried for the state of the club or our future or our, it's not the end of the world after this loss. It's gut wrenching, yes, but it's not the end of the world because I think there's some positive to take out of it. And people, I don't think are really seeing that right now. And obviously people are emotional and they're upset, but we gotta be able to look to these positives and bring that to the next game. What do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. I wish more people saw the positives because they're there. They're absolutely there. Yes, despite us losing 5-4 and giving up 5 goals. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think that game should define us at all. Because I know we're better than that. And I mean, we've seen it. I mean, we put 6-1 on Man United, but Man United comes around and wins 9-0 at Southampton. So like, I mean, it's the game. It's just how the game is.
But it's not even that, it's like if Man U, they lost 6-1, but they played, that they look at that game and they're going to be absolutely pissed, and feel, and the fans are going to be, it's going to be horrible. Every feeling around that game is going to be horrible. But you look at this game, yes, we lost 5-4, but my feelings about this game aren't all negative, and it's just,
exactly.
you got to be able to see the bright side of this because there's such a bright side. And I hope that after the West Brom game, we're going to start turning our game around. And yes, this is a bump in the road, but I don't think this is oh no, well, we're going back to losing all our games again, Yes,
well,
we
like
have a horrible...
another positive outcome from this too is going into the Premier League. Yes, I mean, we're in 8th. We're not really too far off on top 4, which I hope we can, make. I think with the style of play we're creating, is going to be a threat to mid-table to, second-tier teams. Absolutely. There's no room for us to be losing against, Newcastle or tying Newcastle or Burnley, anybody like that. I think with the style that we have kind of created and formed in these last couple games really shows what our strengths are. I mean, putting 2 up, what was it now? We've scored 6 goals in the last 2 games. I mean, and that shows attacking wise, we're good. I mean, we know our attacking's good. The first 3 games of the season were great.
Right.
So it's there. I just don't. I just fear that Jose is going to go back to his old ways against certain teams and kind of be defensive. And I don't think that's our team. I don't want to be defensive. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think our players are suited for that. I think he sees that. I hope he sees that our defense is not good enough for that. So I think we can keep going with this style of play, but we have to be, when you play a high pressing style, you got to be able to convert your chances, and then that's what it'll come down to. And I think we can do that. Some of those mistakes today were just one of those days. And I hate to say that, you can't just chalk it up to that sometimes, but Hugo's not going to let those goals in most of the time. He shouldn't, and he won't. The penalty is so 50-50. It's so tough, and decision making out of the other 2 center backs, maybe that needs to be cleaned up. That obviously needs to be cleaned up as well, but that's no different than the rest of the season. And
the issues that need to be fixed are not like long-term fixes. I
totally agree.
Switch fix. Next game will be fine, I think.
That's my point. People are treating this like, the end of the world, and I hate that to see that because I think we're much better than that. So I think honestly that's a great segue into the player ratings.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm excited for this.
There's some players in this ratings I do want to talk about in a positive way because I think a lot of people played well that deserve or that needed to play well. Let me get to the page. All right. First up, unfortunately, Hugo. What are your thoughts? You got a number?
I have a number, yeah. You just got to play better.
All right. 3, 2, 1, 4. Yeah. I want to say 3, but 3 might be too harsh. He did have 1 or 2 good saves. But you got to save the ones you're supposed to save. You know what I mean? Ben Davies.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 5.
Guy's just there for me.
He's exhausted. I'll tell you what, that guy is exhausted. He needs a break.
Played
I mean, he's going to get destroyed against City if we can't figure something out. But I mean, what else are we going to do?
How long out is Reguilón?
I don't know. I really don't. He's supposed to be 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks has been up. I think it got extended a little bit. Who knows, man? These injuries are tough like that. But yeah, I mean, Davies in his defense, you can't. The human body just can't play that much. He's going to get injured here soon if he keeps playing. In all honesty. All right, Toby.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 5. Yeah, it's got to be better at him. I don't know why I even gave him a 5.
Because we've seen him play 10 times better than what he did today.
So we've seen him play. He can't play much better. That's the thing. So, all right, Sanchez. This is gonna be a tough one for me. It sucks because the people who won't listen to this and they'll just see our picture that we post on like Instagram. If it's a high number, they'll be like, "What on earth are you?" So they won't hear the explanation. But all right,
or
you got a number.
A small number, and they'll be like, "How on earth do you give him a small number?"
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1, 7. Yeah, I think that's fair. I want to give an 8, but because he let in so many goals, he can't.
Yes, but I'm not going to pinpoint the goals that we got scored on him. I am going to say, though, when's the last time a center back scored 2?
Yeah.
So
when's the last time Sanchez scored, and when's the last time a center back scored 2?
So you got to give him some credit.
No, I definitely agree.
Doing something right.
Yeah. All right, Darty.
Okay.
Matt. 3, 2, 1, 6. That's someone I did want to talk about. Kind of pinpoint. I think he played. I mean,
better.
Start of the game, he started to show a little bit of, hey, you know what? I can do better than this. I can do better than what I've shown so far this season, and I think that's huge because Aurier, if he's worried with injuries and stuff like that, Aurier can't play him all either. And while Aurier is playing well, yes, you saw it straight up. The stuff that Jordy can bring that I don't think Aurier can. That ball that he played to Son early on in the first half, I mean, that's incredible. So, alrighty, Højbjerg. 3, 2, 1, 6. Yeah.
I think we could have seen a bit better from him.
Yeah, probably. I think defensively he kind of dove in a couple times, but I was talking about that. That's kind of his style, though. He goes all in, and if he wins, and if he doesn't, then he gets like smoked by. So, all right, Tanky. 3, 2, 1, 6.
Kind of quiet.
Yeah, I agree. Bergwijn. 3, 2.
We'll talk about Bergwijn after because I want to talk to him.
3, 2, 1, 5. You didn't say a number, right?
Sorry, I said 5. I said
okay.
5. No, with Bergwijn, I genuinely think he's right there. He's right there to having, I feel like, a breakout game. I feel like it's going to come around. I really do. I have so much. I
know. It's just funny because it'll be 2023 and we'll be like, guys, Bergwijn is right there.
I think he's right there. I really do. He's given the chances, and I do. I will say though, he needs to perform better if he's going to be playing, more now. But I just think he's so close. The moment he scores, I feel like it'll just all hell will break.
Open the floodgates
in a good way. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he started the game off really well and was, attacking really well with pace and with confidence, and then he just disappeared. Once Everton started to get the better hang of it for a few minutes, 10 minutes, he disappeared. And that's why he had to come off. And I think Jose was right in taking him off. We probably could have scored that equalizing goal without Kane coming back on, but I think, unfortunately, Bergwijn just wasn't.
He had that shot, and he went right to the keeper, of course. But that's I see. I know the thing is I know how he feels. He knows.
But
he's trying to prove. I know exactly what he's trying to do, and he just needs that sloppy off the thigh goal to get that confidence boosting. He needs.
You're not wrong, but when are we gonna get that?
I know you're not wrong either. When are we gonna get that? And I mean, I guess he's got to keep playing him more to find out. But obviously, if he's playing him more and he can't produce, then.
Yep. All right, Lucas.
Man, what a workhorse.
I love that guy. Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1, 8.
8.
I'll-
Absolutely 100% deserves at least a 7. I'm glad you gave him an 8.
I agree.
He is-
Son. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You're fine. I think he's just so remarkable with his work rate, and he just shows the passion.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, Sonny.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 7. Yeah, that might be a little high. Even he started the game off really sloppy, but everyone else was so go, go, go. It didn't really matter.
This is the thing with Sonny. Next time you watch him play, sometimes he'll have the ball and he'll be really slow with it and see what he wants to do with it. In today's game, there's a couple times I saw he would get the ball and he would sprint at the defender. And that's the Sonny I like. Sprint at the defender, take a touch wide, shoot, pass, or whatever it may be.
That's funny because
what?
Go ahead, keep going.
Go at the defender. I love the acceleration that Lucas Moura brings, that I want Son to bring. And there's games that Son plays where he's quote unquote quiet, is when he doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, but in all honesty, I love one of my favorite things that he does is that hesitation where he's at the defender and the defender doesn't know if he's going to pass it this way or go take on, attack the end line, the touch line. And he'll do that quick scissor move and he's gone. He is gone. And then that ball he played to Kane, he does deserve a 7 because that ball he played for Kane, oh my God. I mean, that is incredible.
It was a great ball.
So
I just want that Sonny more often. I really,
agree.
We know what he, but there's games where he's quote unquote quiet, and that's because I think he just doesn't uses his strength. I think his strength is down, or I don't know what the case may be.
Yeah. All right. Lamela.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 8.
8. I
want to give him a 9, but we didn't win, so I don't think we can. But him and Lucas both, a great goal from Lamela. That is a great goal, and it's not easy either. Near post.
No, he kind of chipped
from that angle. God, that is all passion right there. So, love to see it from him. Oops, sorry. I don't think we should rate any of the subs.
I disagree.
You want to rate Winks?
I think we should rate Winks for sure.
I just feel bad. It's gonna be too bad.
I mean, I want to rate him because the dude had the smallest job.
And he didn't do it.
No. It was so bad too, and it makes me look bad too, Clay, because I was praising Winks a couple episodes ago with what I think he can do, his potential. He's got to play more. But heck, why would I want him to play more? After that mistake, I don't think he's gonna make a mistake again, and I think he knows what he did wrong, and it's tough.
When you make that mistake right after first of all, coming onto a game like that is incredibly difficult. It is go, 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 and you have no time to adjust, and a sub always needs a couple minutes to adjust. Fortunately, he didn't adjust, and he made a mistake right off the bat, which then that drops your confidence all the way down, and it's going to be hard to come back from that, in all honesty. But, I mean, I don't think there's much more to say. He didn't play it today, and I don't think that sub, yes.
He watched us the game.
And that's a good question because a lot of people think that I've seen a lot of hate on Winks, and there's always hate on Winks, so it's not that different, but it's in a way that makes it feel like he lost us the game, which I would argue that subbing out Lamela had more of an impact on the result of the game because Vinicius didn't do anything, When Winks came on, it was 4-4, right?
Yeah, we were tied.
We had already conceded 4 goals, Winks isn't responsible for those. Maybe he's responsible for 1, okay. Yes,
well, I was just saying, you could argue, yes, he gave it away, but you could argue that the last time he got scored on, who gave it away?
Right, exactly. So,
I mean,
but then you could also argue that
he gave it away in such a bad position to where, we did get countered, but again, we still had almost everyone behind the ball when we were defending it.
And you could also argue, when Winks came on, you lost that edge that Tanguy brings, and obviously that's true. And Winks didn't bring that today. I think the only thing Winks is good at sometimes. Who did
Winks come on for?
Tanguy. Winks came on for Tanguy. Carlos came on for Lamela, and Dele came on for Lucas, and then Sissoko came on for Doherty.
Right.
But my point is, the only thing really Winks does well when he does do some stuff well sometimes is I think he has good vision, and even today that was really bad. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, Winks.
We'll say what we thought.
All right, good. that's probably safer.
I don't know what to rate him.
It would not be great, but Jose,
Inconclusive.
inconclusive. Just put a sad face.
Right?
All right, Jose. This is tough.
7.
All right, well, we didn't 3, 2, 1, but all right, you put 7. I'm gonna put a 6, I think.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what to say.
I'm glad we played the same way we did against West Brom.
Give him credit for that. But Jose's in a tough spot here because if he brings Bale, that's a different story. He doesn't do it. Does he need to bring Winks and Sissoko? Probably not. I think you bring Bale instead, but supposedly there's a Bale injury. So, I mean, heck, there's so many variables that go into it. All right. Great episode. Unfortunate game. I think we have positives to look forward to as long as we keep playing this way. If we don't keep playing this way, it could be downhill again very, very fast. So
relegation.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at _Tottenham_talk. Thanks for listening, guys. I know this is tough, but as always, come on, you Spurs.